Hello, welcome to EPG Pathshala Spanish. My name is Nabil Ansari and I teach Spanish in the Center of Spanish, Portuguese, Italian and Latin American Studies in Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. We are in the paper entitled Spanish Grammar 1. In the previous modules, we have covered the Spanish alphabets and its pronunciation, greetings and personal pronouns, numbers, weather expressions, time, accent and noun, and articles of Spanish language. In this module entitled Repaso Uno, we are going to revise the main points covered in the previous 6 modules, which will help you not only in a better understanding but also in remembering the relevant aspects of its usage in your communication. So we start with the Spanish language. The Spanish language are spoken in 21 countries. It means that there are 21 Spanish speaking countries in the world. Spanish is the primary language spoken in each of these countries, and most of the Spanish speaking countries are in Latin America. Latin America is formed by North, Central and South American countries, and there are 16 Latin American Spanish speaking countries. The Caribbean is home to 2 Spanish speaking countries. There are more than 450 million Spanish speakers who speak it as a native language. Now here's a list of all these Spanish speaking countries. So it starts with Equatorial Guinea, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, Panama, Spain, Mexico, Argentina, Bolivia, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Paraguay, Peru, Uruguay and Venezuela. After having seen the countries where Spanish is spoken as a native language, now let's talk about the Spanish alphabets. So the Spanish alphabets are A, B, C, Ch, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, L, M, N, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, W, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So these were the Spanish alphabets that we have just seen. Now let's see also how they are pronounced. For example, A de avión, B como botella. C has various pronunciation. One of it is like in casa. Che is as in chico. De as in diccionario. E as in elefante. F as in flow. G again has got many pronunciation, but one of them are como guitarra. H as in helado. I as in insecto. J as in jirafa. K as in koala. L as in lápiz. L as in llaves. M as in mariposa. N as in naranja, NA as in Spania, O as in oso, P as in pan, Q as in queso, R as in regalo, S as in silla, T as in teléfono, U as in uvas, V as in vela, W as in waffle, X as in xilófono, Y as in yogur, and Z as in zapatos. Like in English language, there are 5 vowels in Spanish. So in English, we pronounce the vowels as A, E, I, O, U. Same we have in Spanish, but it is pronounced differently. So it is pronounced as A, E, O, and U. So A as in casa, taza, bata, A as in bebé, debe, leche, E as in cine, hijo, misa, O as in codo, moro, or lloro, and U as in muro, punto, and nube. Now, after having learned the alphabets and how they are pronounced, there are many ways to say hello in Spanish. After having seen the alphabets and its pronunciation, let's talk about the greetings in Spanish. So there are many ways to say hello in Spanish. Some are used in formal conversations and others in informal ones. Formal greetings are used when you don't know the other person or when you're talking to your superiors or elder people, and when you want to show respect to someone. Informal greetings are used with your friends, juniors, or someone with whom you have friendly relations with. So the most common greeting in Spanish is hola, meaning hello or hi. So this hola can be used in both formal as well as in informal context, and can be used at any time of the day. Then we have buenos dias, meaning good morning. At times this buenos dias can also be used as buen dia or buenas. So this is the kind of shortened form of buenos dias. So if you want to say good morning, it is buenos dias. Good afternoon or good evening is buenas tardes, and good night is buenas noches. So unlike the English equivalent of good night, buenas noches can be used as a greeting as well as a farewell. So you can use this buenas noches as a greeting also when you are leaving the person. Then also you can say buenas noches. So as you can see, there is a difference in number and in use of greetings in English and Spanish. English divides the day into 4 different parts, whereas Spanish only distinguishes 3. Therefore, there is also a difference in use of these greetings form. So, buenos dias is used from dawn to lunchtime. Now, buenas tardes is used after lunch until the sunset. So, buenas tardes will mean good afternoon, and it can also mean good evening. And buenas noches, it varies, that is, it is normally used after dusk, and the use of buenas noches may vary as the sunset is as the sunset vary from country to country in the Europe and in Latin America. To simplify things, keep buenas noches for when there is no sunlight. After an initial greeting, to ask about somebody's well-being, the following questions can be asked. For example, ¿Cómo está usted? Meaning how are you? This is the formal. And ¿Cómo estás? Meaning how are you? In an informal situation. But there are also other ways of asking the same thing. In informal communication, that is informally, we ask the same thing by saying what's up or what's happening. These things can be said in Spanish as well. For example, ¿qué tal or ¿qué hay means what's up. ¿Qué pasa means what's happening. And ¿cómo andas means how it's going. Now, some of the answers to the above questions could be one of the following depending on the situation. So if someone asks you, ¿cómo estás? O ¿cómo está usted? You can reply, estoy bien, gracias. ¿Y usted? Now this usted is for formal situation. So estoy bien, gracias means I'm fine, thanks. ¿Y usted means and you. So the formal greetings comes from the pronoun y usted and can be added to any of the following answers. If you are in informal situation, we should use the pronoun tú, like after saying estoy bien, gracias, y tú, which means we are asking the other person how that person is. So there are also other possible answers which are, so you can also reply, if someone asks you how are you, you can also say genial, meaning fantastic or great, or muy bien, meaning very well, or estoy muy bien, meaning I am very well. Or you can also say así así, más o menos, or estoy regular or regular, and all of these will mean so. So you can reply also by saying these things. Or if you want to say that you are not feeling well or you are not well, then you can say no estoy bien. And if you want to say I'm bad, then you say estoy mal. And if you feel very bad, then you say estoy muy mal or fatal. Fatal means terrible. And if you are sick, then you can say estoy enfermo if you are a male, and estoy enferma if you are a female, meaning I am sick. And if you want to say I'm tired, then you can say estoy cansado if you are a male, and estoy cansada if you are a female. Now, as you have seen above in the examples, after having seen the basic greetings in Spanish, let's talk about the subject pronouns. The subject pronoun is a personal pronoun such as I, you, he, she, we, and they, etc. It carries out the action expressed by the verb. For example, I can be said in Spanish as yo, you is tú, he is él, she is ella, you is you, that is formal. So you can be said in two ways. One is informal, that is tú, and the other is in formal context, and that is usted. We can be said as nosotros or nosotras. You all can be said as vosotros or vosotras, and they can be said as ellos, ellas, and you all formal can be said as ustedes. So the plural of you can be said two ways like singular, which is informally and formally. Informal way, it will be said as vosotros or vosotras, and in a formal communication it will be said as ustedes. Now remember, nosotros, when we say nosotros, it refers to more than one male, or it refers to a group of males and females. Now if we say nosotras, then it refers to only female. So same rule applies to vosotros and vosotras. Vosotros is for males and when they are male and female, and vosotras is only for females. Now one thing to remember while reading, that is usted at times can be abbreviated as UD with a full stop or VD with a full stop, meaning usted, and ustedes can be abbreviated as UDS or VDS. Now we have talked about the greetings and also the subject pronoun. Now let's talk about the farewells, that is despedida. So how do we say goodbyes in Spanish? So the same thing can be said in several ways, but the following two are the most common one which can be used in any situation. So they are hasta luego, which means see you later, and adios, which means goodbye. So see you later is normally used in a colloquial send-off, and goodbye is used for more lasting farewells. Apart from these, there are other ones as well, like hasta mañana, which means see you tomorrow, hasta pronto, which means see you soon, hasta el sábado or hasta el domingo, or hasta el with any other days of the week, that will mean see you Saturday or Sunday and any of the days of the week that we mentioned. And hasta la semana que viene means see you next week. So these were some of the expressions or words that you can use for saying goodbyes in Spanish. Now, after having seen the greetings and also the subject pronoun as well as the farewells, let's talk about the numbers. So the numbers we use to express quantity. So we start with the cardinal numbers first, and then we will see the ordinal numbers. So the cardinal numbers in English are like 1, 2, 3, etc. So we will see first the cardinal numbers. So 0 is 0, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. This was till 20, and then after 20 it is 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 27, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. After 30, we just add the number 1, 2, etc. by putting E. For example, 31 is 31, 32, 32, then 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40 is 40. So after 40, we follow the same pattern of putting E1, E2. For example, 41 is 41, 42 is 42, etc. And 50 is 50, 60 is 60, 70 is 70, 80 is 80, 90 is 90, and 100 is 100. 101, after 100 we use ciento. So 101 is 101, 102 will be 102, etc. So till we reach 199. After 199, 200 is 200 or 200. 300 is 300, 400 is 400, 500 is 500, 600 is 600, 700 is 600 is 600, 700 is 700, 800 is 800, 900 is 900, and 1000 is 1000. So this from 200 to 900, the numbers will agree with the gender of the noun. For example, if masculine plural will be 200 and feminine plural will be 200. Same way, masculine plural will be 300 and feminine plural will be 300 till 900, and after that 1000 is meal, and after 1000 you can add the number. For example, 2000 is dos mil, etc. 10,000 is 10 mil, 100,000, that's 1 lakh, is 100 mil, 10 lakh, that is 1 million, it is 1 million, and after 1 million you just add the number. For example, 2 millions is 2 millones, and 1 billion is 1 billion. So this was the more or less the basic about the numbers, that is cardinal number. Now we see how do we say the ordinal number. In English, the ordinal numbers are first, second, third, etc. In Spanish, they are primero, segundo, tercero, cuarto, quinto, sexto, séptimo, octavo, noveno, décimo. So the ordinal numbers are used till 10th, and after that cardinal numbers are generally used. If you want to say 11th, you can say once, and likewise. When the ordinal numbers are used with names, the word "the" is not written in Spanish. For example, we have seen that Alfonso IV will be said as Alfonso IV, and Isabel II will be said as Isabel II. So this article "the" is not used or is not put in Spanish while it is present in English form. Now, as we have learned about the number, now we are going to talk about the weather. So the verb hacer is used to talk about the weather. In Spanish, in order to talk about the weather, the verb hacer is used instead of normally expected verb ser. Hacer normally means to make or to do, and ser means to, or sen means to be, but while talking about the weather we use hacer. For example, if you want to ask how is the weather, we will say ¿Qué tiempo hace? If the weather is cold, then we say hace frío. If it's hot, we say hace calor. If it's windy, we say hace viento. If it's sunny, we say hace sol. And if the weather is fresh or cool, so we say hace fresco. If the weather is good, we say hace buen tiempo. And if the weather is bad, we say hace mal tiempo. For asking the temperature, we say ¿Qué temperatura hace hoy? Meaning, what is the temperature today? And the reply can be with the verb estar, that is, estamos a 45 grados, meaning we are at 45 degrees. So this number can vary, but the construction remains same, that is, estamos a, and then the number, and then grados. Now sometimes there are other expressions which can be used with the verb ser. So especially when we talk about the climate of the place. So as we know that the climate is something which is permanent, which generally don't change. Weather changes, but climate remains same for a place. That's why we use the verb ser. So if we want to say it is pleasant, we will say es agradable. If you want to say it is humid, then we will say es húmedo. If you want to say it is cold, es frío. If it is warm, we will say es caluroso or cálido. If it is dry, then we will say es seco. But remember, the verb ser normally describes the climate of a place. Apart from this, there are some verbs also which we use for stating the weather condition. For example, if it is raining, we can say llueve, which comes from the verb llover, meaning it's raining. If it is snowing, then you can say nieva, meaning it's snowing, and nieva comes from the verb nevar. If it's drizzling, then you can say jovisna, and jovisna comes from the verb jovisnar, which means to drizzle. Now, after having talked about the weather condition, let's see how do we ask and tell time in Spanish. So to ask time, the question is ¿Qué hora es? As you can see that time is used with the verb ser here, and at times the verbs like tener and decir can also be used to ask time. So in general, we ask the question ¿Qué hora es? For time, but at times there are forms with the verb tener and decir which can also be used with time, so that the details can be referred back to the e-text of the previous modules. Now, while talking about the time, as you can see in this picture, if the hour is sharp, that is, if we say it's 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, etc., we will add en punto. If the time is 15 minutes, that is 12:15, 1:15, etc., we say y cuarto. If the time is at 30 minutes, that is, if it's 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, etc., then we will say y media. After y media, we will use menos. So if the time is past 30, then we will use menos, and if it is on 45, that is, if the time is 12:45, 1:45, etc., we will say menos cuarto, and likewise. So if the time is singular, that is 1 o'clock, we say es la una. If it is 2 o'clock, we say son las dos. So if it is 2:15, we say son las dos y cuarto. If it is 2:30, we say son las dos y media. If it is 2:45, so it means that it is 2:45. So we will say son las tres menos cuarto, meaning 3 minus cuarto, meaning 50 minutes. So which means that it is 2:45. Now this concept of AM and PM is said by stating the time, that is, if it is morning or afternoon or night. So if you want to say it's 6 o'clock or in the morning, or it's 6 AM, then we'll say son las 6 de la mañana. If it is 1 PM, then we will say es la una de la tarde. If it is 2 PM, then we'll say son las dos de la tarde. And if it is 9 PM, that is at night, or 9 o'clock in the night, then we'll say son las 9 de la noche. So AM is can be said as de la mañana, and PM de la tarde if it is afternoon and evening, and de la noche if it is night. And if you want to say it's midday, then it is es mediodía, and if it is midnight, that is media noche. So as we have mentioned that in Spanish there are 5 vowels. Those are a, e, I, o, u, which is a, e, I, o, and u, as in English. Out of these 5 vowels, 3 are strong vowels, that are a, e, and o, and there are 2 weak vowels, that is I and U, that is I and U. And we are now going to talk about the diphthongs that are formed when 2 vowels come together. That is, diphthong is when there is a weak vowel and when there is a strong vowel, or when there are 2 strong vowels, or when there are 2 weak vowels together. Thus, a diphthong is the union of 2 vowels in one syllable. That is, diphthongs will be formed when in one syllable 2 vowels come together. Now you can see the examples of these diphthongs in the e-text as well as in the modules, which explains the diphthongs in detail, which will be the previous modules. Now we are going to talk about the difference of meaning with when the vowel has an accent and when we do not put the accent. There are some phonetically same word, but they differ in meaning if these words will have an accent, and they will also mean different thing if we remove the accent from these words. So let's see some of them. Without accent, they means of, but with accent, they means give. Without accent, me means my, but with an accent, me means me. Without an accent, tu means your, and with an accent, tu means you. Same way, mas without an accent will mean but, and mas with an accent means more. C without an accent means if, and C with an accent means yes. L without an accent means the, and L with an accent means he or him. Same way, te without an accent means yourself or you, and te with an accent means tea. Now in Spanish, as you have learned and we are just quickly reviewing here, there are 4 different articles for saying the. So the definite article the in English is 1, but in Spanish there are 4 articles, and these are el, la, los, las. So the definite article can vary according to the number, that is if it is singular or plural, and according to the gender of the noun, that is gender meaning masculine or feminine, that it defines. So as you can see here, if it is masculine singular, it will be el, for example, el chico, the boy. If it is feminine singular, that will be la, meaning the, but la chica meaning the girl. If it is masculine plural, that will be los chicos, meaning boy, the boys. And if it is feminine plural, that will be las chicas, meaning the girls. So the noun here is boy and boys, girl and girls. So according to the noun, the article will also change. So same way, the indefinite articles in Spanish are also 4, and they are un, una, unos, and unas, and they will also vary according to the number and gender of the noun. But if it is used in a singular, it will mean a and an, and if it is used in plural, that is unos and unas, they will mean some. For example, let's see, singular masculine will be un profesor, meaning one professor. Singular feminine will be una profesora, meaning one professor, but una because profesora is a female. Then unos profesores will mean some professors, and unas profesoras will mean some professors, but it will when there are only females. Thus in this module you have quickly reviewed the alphabets and also the about the Spanish language, and then we have quickly reviewed about the numbers, both cardinal and ordinal numbers, greetings and farewells, and also in between we covered the subject pronoun, and later on we also saw the accent as well as the diphthongs, and at the end we saw the articles, that is both definite and indefinite articles. Now this module is just a quick review of whatever we have covered in the previous modules. Now if you want to see in details all these aspects that we have covered in this module, then you should refer back to the e-text of the previous 6 modules. Thank you.